Hello, I am back with another video. Anyway, my afternoon has not gone to plan. The ponies are in. It is 7:30 on a Friday night. I got here at 5, well, just after 5, finished work at 5, came down here, and the plan was to really get my butt in gear. If you watch the Royal Lancashire vlog, I just made too many little silly mistakes, not organised enough. I used to be really OCD about stay away shows and getting ready for shows. I used to wash everything and pack it all as I was going and write all my timetable and all my stuff down. And I think because I've been doing stayaways now for 8 or 9 years, I've got a bit complacent and everything lives in the trailer. So I've always been oh, it's fine, I don't need to really pack, it's all there. I've only got to clean her and put her on. Anyway, that's just not working anymore. So after Royal Lancashire, I said to myself, I am going to spend this weekend really getting back in order. So I have ordered a new gazebo, which I got out earlier, and I just put the roof on it because at Arena UK it's normally really windy, and trying to put the gazebo roof on is going to be a nightmare. So I've got it out, made sure I can do it, put the cover on, and I actually managed to get it back in the bag, which I'm really surprised by. So that's all ready, and I've got a new trolley. And then Brad, we finally managed to cut the hay. So Brad is out on the tractor in the hayfield cutting the hay. So I then poo-picked, had to go home, make him a sausage sandwich, and basically just collect the wife points and deliver him dinner. So yeah, I've done that and now I am back. But I figured that these guys could come in, rest their little bellies a little bit, especially this one. As we all know, she gets a little bit on the fat side. So, sorry, I am talking about you. So yeah, she's been resting her belly. She is having today off. So she had Monday off after Royal Lancashire, and then I have hacked her Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we've done some pretty decent hacking. So I thought, well, tonight she can have tonight off, because tomorrow I'm going to go over to Chloe's, which is next door, and school her. And then Sunday she'll hack again, and she's having physio and the weighbridge. So the week, I kind of plan my weeks out around what's going on, and yeah, that's how it is. So today is her day off because she's a veteran. I am talking about you, sorry. Because she's a veteran, she doesn't need to be in solid 6 days a week work. She, in competing season, tends to do sort of 4 or 5 days, and then when we're not competing, she'll do sort of 3 or 4. So yeah, she's had her 2 days off this week. She'll have next Monday off because after physio, and then I'll hack her Tuesday, and then we leave Wednesday. So anyway, that is enough rambling. I'm going to show you the state of my trailer. So the other mattress, this folds up and the other mattress goes there. That's still in the car. I do need to bring that back. I will do that tomorrow. I obviously need to tidy this. This is the new trolley, very exciting, and I've just shoved my gazebo in here for now. My saddle is just placed on the floor because it normally sits here, but it can't. However, I do sometimes work from my trailer. This is really bad. I do sometimes work from my trailer, so it has got a little bit messy. Okay, but what I'm going to do first is I need to hog you and trim your legs. So I will admit that is a little bit later than I would like. I normally like to do it 10 days before, and that's another thing that didn't organise. It just kind of slipped my mind. So I'm doing it Friday. It's not too bad because she's competing on Thursday for her first day. So it will be 6 days, not the 7 to 10. But it's not the end of the world. But I can't leave it because of course I did it so it was perfect for Royal Lancashire. And by Equifest it will just be too long. So we have got to do it. So I'm going to do that very quickly. And then I'm probably just going to turn them out, and tomorrow we will start packing properly. That is everyone out for the night. Brad is over there somewhere mowing. This doesn't look cut, but it's cut, and that means that when we get back from Equifest, we will have a hayfield to go and do some fitness work in and just some general schooling. It's good to get her schooled on grass, really. We are going to go and compete on grass at Equifest, and I've not had a chance to go in the hayfield to kind of like practice, which is what I'd normally do, but the weather this year just meant that we couldn't cut the hay any earlier, so oh well, we shall have to do it when we get back. I've just realised how rough and tired I look. I'm having a really bad skin outbreak. I'm just not sleeping well, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go home and go to bed and see you tomorrow. Hello, it is now Saturday. I've just brought Dubs in. I fed them in the field this morning and then I went and got my nails done. Can't see that. They're just pink with a little heart. Not that you care. But it is now just gone 12, so I've brought in. She's gonna have some time off of the grass, rest the belly, still working on the weight. It's just always a problem. And I am going to basically empty this, get it all out, go through my checklist, repack it. So yeah, just gonna get cracked on. Okay, so let's actually run a little bit front to back to front, whatever way around. I have the little tat locker outside on the Equitrex. I've just got the one locker. I don't actually use this for its intended purpose, which is to put your saddles and everything in. I just find when I travel, the saddle would have slipped and it's sort of come forward and it's fallen off. So this is actually full of all the things that I don't need every day, but are very, very good to take away with you. For example, this is a big medical kit. There is so much stuff in there. I only have enough stuff that, you know, if anything happened, I can get her sorted out long enough to get her to a vet, but that is full of that. This is a spare head collar that's fallen down. I secretly love this. It's from Gallop, and it's got all the diamonds. It was gifted, but it was, when you order over a certain amount, you get a head collar, so that's from that. I also have a lunge line. Not that Dublin's ever difficult to load, but we do have a lunge line and a spare lead rope. This bag is then all spare tack. I've got the show girths. This one is a little bit small, but it was from her working under days. If she ever gets that skinny again, we have it, because this one is ever so slightly too big. I then have gamgee, and underneath I have bandages, again in case, or I can use them overnight. We have some spare overreach boots. Sometimes I travel in those, but I don't know, I don't ever really use them, but there's no good having them at home if I'm away, whereas obviously because the trailer lives on the yard, anything I might need is in here. Then those are my 2 dressage pads. They just stay there because where I keep my saddle pads is a bit dusty. And then this box basically has spare bits, spare pair of stirrups, some baler twine, and that's pretty much it. And I have got a stool. This is the shower that I've actually never had working, which is really annoying because it's kind of the reason I bought the trailer. But yeah, and there's some ice leg gel there. Oh, and another spare lead rope. So basically that just stays like that. Because another reason I don't really use this locker is that because the tie rings on the Equitrex are this side, people parking you always leave you a big enough gap on the side where your ramp is, which then means people end up parking too close to the other side, and quite rightly so. Like a trailer should not have to take up like double the bay space, but it just means that people get too close that side because they leave room for the ramp, that I never actually have enough room to tie her up that side. So I know you're not supposed to do it, but you know, I never leave her unattended, and she's not stupid, but I put a safety loop on the handles to my ramp, and she just gets tied up on the ramp side. So moving on, it's now the back, and you'll all know I have, let's turn you around, I have this box. So this box's purpose is, it's packed pretty much for what I need if I'm going out and about like all the time, and it's got stay away stuff, because the amount of times I get to stay away and I forget to take all these things over to my stable. So the idea is this box, although it's used in the day as a day box, but it will actually go and stay outside my stable at the stayaways, but it's got calming cookies, and it's got some energy cookies, some human karma, and then a big box of treats, her hydration mash, which I just always like to have on hand at shows. Things like this will stay in this box because they'll be out of the stable, so I'm gonna like need them all. Then it is her wash bucket, like a wash off bucket with her cloth. So this one is a bucket that I'll have oil in. This is a wash off bucket that won't have oil in it, and then there's her drinking bucket and her hood. So when I get to the stayaways though, the green grooming kit from the front will go in the back here. We'll go into this. This can just like live on top, but we just kind of make a base. You'll see when we get to Equifest. I've got these little individual hooks that are good for just hanging head collars on, and then the purple hooks that are there, I hang on top of the stable. So yeah, that it just sort of, it becomes a base at stayaway shows basically. And then the purple hooks I hang on the inside of her stable, and her rugs go on there, because it's just easier to have everything at the stable, especially when you're at a show for a week. It just makes sense to have it all at the stable, because like things change or you don't have a lot of time and you're popping in and out, and if it's just all there, I leave my hay there and everything like that so I can top it up. So yeah, it's all good. I've also got a spare lead rope up here. I just have this thing, obviously within reason, because I don't want to make the Equitrek heavy, but if I've got spare, I just tend to keep them in the trailers. The reason there's one in here is because if I'm anywhere where I open the ramp and there's a problem and I can't unhook her, or like I've been in a situation before where I've got to a show and a horse has been freaking out, could not reach to untie his lead rope, so I grabbed a spare and unclipped it from his head collar and was able to put the spare one on and get out the trailer, or the lorry. So I've always got a spare lead rope to hand in the back where she is, and then obviously there's ones that are spare. So that's just kind of how I go. I always pack and prepare for the worst, because if it never happens, then thank God. But if it does, and I don't have anything to hand or anything that I know I need, then we're in trouble. I'm gonna put the keys there before I lose them. Anyway, right, the rest of the stuff in the back, obviously her travel stuff, that will stay there until we go. This is all clean bedding. This will get spread out. Water, always travel with a full thing of water. Even though we're going to a venue with taps and stables, I always travel with water. Again, you break down or you get stuck in traffic, I've always got spare hay and spare water. It is so windy. I hope this microphone works. And then this is just her little scoop and brush. So I'm going to spread the bedding out, and then obviously behind here you may have seen I've got all my rugs on this hook. I'll show you better in a minute. But I've washed this fly sheet because I take a fly sheet not necessarily for the flies, but if it is too hot to rug her up, I put the fly sheet on instead, because it just keeps some of the dirt and dust off of her. So yeah, I'm gonna get the back spread out, and then I'm gonna do that thing where I put the bedding in and the hay nets in, so I know it's here, because then I turn the trailer around in the morning and just dump it on the outside to loader and put it back. But if I don't physically pack it, it's gonna get forgotten. So let's get the back done first. Okay, so it goes without saying, or at least I'd like to think it was obvious, that will all get tied down when we travel. So I basically, there's hoops here. So I will bungee around the bedding, pop it on. These all get tied on. There's 3 little loops there. So it all gets tied up, and then my wheelbarrow goes in this space and it gets tied up through all the holes. So it's fine. The wheelbarrow obviously is going to be in use until the day of, but at least it's all in and I know it's there, because then I will move on to the front. But quickly, the rugs I take, so I have a rain sheet, which is just a new one I had. It was from a Derby House photo shoot. I've kept it clean, it just lives in the trailer. Then I've got my blue chip rug and a Equitrek rug that I actually won in an Instagram competition. And then the fly sheet that I've washed and put in. The fleeces and the rain sheet live in the trailer. Dublin won't ever travel with anybody else, so I installed this rug rail, basically, because the ones you can buy for the Equitrex up there are so expensive. It's like £50 a rack, and being a short arse, I didn't actually feel like I was ever going to put them away up there. So yeah, anyway, move me box. Here's time to move on to the front. Also, you can buy haylage and bedding at Equifest, but it's £15 a bale for bedding and £12 for haylage, and I cannot afford to do a whole 5 days worth, so I always take my hay nets because then I can mix in the haylage that I buy, and then I take the bedding. But yeah, I can buy more if I need to buy more. It's open all the time. But one thing I'm doing this year, I mentioned it at the Royal Lancashire vlog, when we had our back garden done, we had a lot of astroturf, like fake grass left over. Our garden is just like a classic new build. Oh my god, is the light going to adjust? And the gardens are really bad in new builds. So we had it astroturfed, and we had loads left over, and we put it all in this like old tack room barn thing. This is eventually going to be like a nice tack room for us. But I'm not going to go in there yet because there's spiders. I saw a lot of people at Hoy's taking carpet, and they'd cut like 12 by 12 meters of carpet to put down on the concrete. So I'm going to do that with the AstroTurf, because you can wash AstroTurf, and then I'm not having to put down like 6 bales of bedding just to get her off the concrete. So yeah, I'm going to dig that out, and I bet you it's going to be minging. It's actually not dirty. Look at that. And the beauty is, it will fold up really well if it's too big. This isn't as deep as a normal stable, and probably not as long as the Equifest ones, but it's going to cover the majority of like the front. It just means I haven't got to take bedding all the way up to the door. This can go like more along the front and the side, and then the bedding can go at the back, and I'm not having to completely cover the entire floor. Winner! So, we have just been schooling over the road. I didn't film it because it's like a really small private little yard, and she doesn't really do social media herself, so I didn't want to go over there like vlogging it all, because it wasn't fair. But Dublin was a very good girl. She's very tired now. Are you very tired? Yeah, very tired. Anyway, I have just shoved everything in here. My saddle obviously just lives here because I'm going to obviously ride her a few more times now before we go. But I've got my gazebo on the chair, trolley, and then the carpet. And then I've actually just squashed my table into the back because of course I've got to balance all the weight out. And she will go in there. Ta-da! So yeah, everything is pretty much in the trailer. Tomorrow we have Dublin's physio and the weighbridge coming, so I will obviously film that. But for now, I'm going to turn the Queen out and go home for a shower. Hello guys, it is now Sunday and I am out on my very, very keen horse. We are supposed to just be doing a gentle leg stretch because I went to the school yesterday and I think I mentioned that I couldn't vlog because it's Chloe's like little private yard and it's just not fair. So I didn't take my camera and I just gave her a little bit of a school, and then she was giving Rachel a pole lesson, so we did a few little poles as well. and it was really, really good. I wanted to make sure that we were like over there for the full hour to really test the fitness. And as you can see, she's feeling grand, but she worked super hard, so I'm bringing her out for a little leg stretch, and then we have Olivia coming.
By the looks of it,
The Olympic eventing, and Olivia doing a treatment. Sorry, the log is out again. She's like, God's sake. Treatment time. Go straight on. Oh, we're going straight on.
She is
Please lost weight.
577. Yeah?
Yay! That was 690 last time.
Yeah.
No, 69.
Yeah. 609, yeah.
And she's 577.
Yeah.
Yes! Over the moon that someone is a skinny mini again. He's skinny mini. 577, good girl. Anyway, skinny mini. I'm now going to pre-make her feeds. So, go into the feed room. I adjust. There we go, clever camera. I keep all my old blue chip tubs to pre-make her feeds into. So, I think I have enough. I'm going to lay them all out on the floor, I think. And yeah, get making. So I always travel with her feeds in the front, and then I've got a feed bowl. I'm going to take her one that's on the wall, but this is just like a spare, because the amount of times I'd walked to the stable and forgotten her feed bowl. So feed bowl, feeds all packed. Now I put the last few remaining things on this whiteboard rather than my iPad. It'd be good if I actually filmed myself with the thing. So yeah, that's like the last few things I have left to pack. So that is us done. Dubs is happily grazing. I'm sat here, the dog has had a bit of a swim in the trough. So no, sit here please. No, we're not going in the sun because he keeps wanting to sunbathe. Anyway, that is us pretty much done. I have got 2 busy days at work now, Monday and Tuesday, and then we leave first thing Wednesday morning. So that will of course be a different vlog entirely. That will be my Equifest vlog. So yeah, sorry this has been a bit jambled and a bit all over the place, but that is us all packed. She's happy in the field having had her treatment, and she'll have tomorrow off now, Monday off. I'll take her for a nice gentle hike on Tuesday, and then yeah, we'll travel down on Wednesday. I won't ride her on the Wednesday, we'll just travel down on the Wednesday, go for like a nice in-hand walk, and our first class is a Thursday. So yeah, like I said, that will all be in the next vlog. So I will see you guys then. Bye.